Thomas. You are old.
You're not that old.
Minus
His ghost is
19,
my dad.
62. He's 62. Well, 61, about to be 62, and I'm like, goddamn, like, you look like you're still in your 20s. But it's like, nope, I'm still here.
It's the conspiracy theories.
Whose blood are you drinking?
I know the lizards. We're always gonna start talking in like an hour. Someone's gonna show up.
Yeah.
It's probably
well, it's afternoon time, so I'm just gonna start how I feel, how I please. We're doing something different, and by we I mean me. I'm here joined by Matt Vic 99. I had to actually look up your username for a second because I know damn well that I forgot it, and I was like, "What is it? It's something." We're gonna be trying some shit and talking about a whole bunch of things. So, where we live, or where technically I live in Massachusetts, we don't have like 90% of these treats. As I'm trying to do the intro, one of my friends in the group chat is like, "Mental health check. I checked. I'm not doing."
You know what's so fucking funny about that? I accidentally signed up for a mental health check in Maryland. They call me to this day and ask me how I am. I'm not kidding. So, me and my stepsister wanted to sign up for like a food bank where we can go and like get food and stuff. And she told me that, oh, like you call this number and that's where they give you like the information. And I was like, okay. So I called the phone number and the person on the phone is asking me a bunch of questions. And I was like, okay, this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And then they go at the end and go, okay, yeah, you're signed up for a mental health check. They'll call you every day or like every other day. And I was like, no, that's not what I wanted. Like, no. And so they called me a couple times after. They literally just call and go, are you okay? Literally, like they don't even feel like they want to talk to me. And I was like, I'm fine. And then on the second or third time that they called me, I was like, is there a way that I can like stop getting these calls? And he was like,
no.
And I could tell it was no, but he was like, let me check. I can check with my manager. And then we just hung up and it left it at that. But then a couple of days later, they called me again. So I was like, So I guess you didn't check with your manager because they're still calling me. But
so we were having a great conversation last night. I was like, you know what? You want to try this stuff out. I want to record some shit for the Otaku Outsider, so like might as well. Mm-hmm. So I want to start off with something sweet for me and my sweet tooth having ass.
Yeah, we can show some stuff too. So like all of this stuff I got. So I drove up from Maryland and I stopped at the store that
it's from a store in Connecticut that popped up earlier this year. It's like
It's Arisu store.
Don't ask me how to pronounce it. It's Arisu.
Arisu.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an oldie mystic.
It's
village.
So cute. It's like a very nice thing. The thing is, their address does not lead to the store. Like I got lost.
It leads to the plaza, and like
I got lost.
there's a bank nearby, just park at the bank, walk past the bank.
No, if you go around the plaza, there's a parking lot like right next to the store.
I'll take the walk of shame.
But yeah, point is like I wanted to stop by and buy a bunch of things. Like not a lot of this stuff is like super cheap, but honestly well worth it if we want to try it. Like I'm very excited for these takoyaki balls. I love takoyaki. And we also have some sweet stuff like this. That's like little cookies with chocolate. These are like rice cakes.
My fear was that this was gonna be like not chocolate, but like something else.
Well, I didn't get chocolate because you said you didn't like chocolate. Like there was one chocolate thing that you didn't like, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna risk it, so I didn't get it.
This kind of makes me want to go get some strawberries and some chocolate fudge from the store, and then just like cut them up and dip them in some like warm chocolate.
Yeah, it's definitely like nice and like.
Me gusta.
I really like it.
It's not a strong flavor like at all.
No, we're trying this one. How do you think I say that? Capico? In the back.
I'm dyslexic. Don't ask me this.
It's funny enough that in the back they translated it to chocolate snack.
Do I not see it on here?
In the back. right
Oh,
on top, chocolate
oh.
snack. So a bunch of them have like translation in the back, especially the ones that just say like in Japanese.
Serving is 1 per container.
In 1 pack.
So, one pack. Oh, my bad. Okay, so 1 pack is about 200 calories. I was about to say, just one of these is 200 calories? God damn.
No, that's not that bad for chocolate because like it kind of like it feels like they baked chocolate because it's kind of thick and it's still like it's not like brownie because it's not fully baked, but it feels like they baked chocolate.
A brownie for Christmas time. That would actually be amazing.
I'm so excited.
Now but like part of the conversation that we were yeah. So I'm gonna like show this right now, and then like we can do some with it later. So Japanese ramen with chicken pad thai taste. So that's this one.
And I got the spicy one.
The one with some spicy miso.
I got miso soup.
In addition,
we're gonna cut it right here. I'm gonna make these, and then we're gonna start the conversation. Because story time, I'm gonna tell the story again that happened in the story, and it was funny as fuck. So we're gonna cut right here.
I'm just gonna let it roll.
Yeah, just in case you want to edit.
Yeah, no, I have no problem doing that. What is this?
You know what's funny that I think you should do? You know how when people cut, but then like a blooper happens and they'll put it in black and white?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing for some of the podcast episodes. It just takes a minute for me to do that because it's not like a specific filter. You opened it way too much. There's a thing you're supposed to only open it like halfway.
Well,
but yeah, so it takes a minute for me to find it because I have to go like a different route instead of filters. I have to go and find like whatever it is down a rabbit hole and we'll see if that. You know, I'm not a peach person.
Really?
But this peach cream frappe candy.
You see?
Pretty interesting.
Yeah? They had a bunch of candies there, but I was like
it's not it obviously it's a peach taste and I'm not really like a peach kind of person.
But see, I personally, when there's a bunch of different flavors, I think peach is always the safest because it's never too strong or too sweet. So peach tends to be my go-to flavor when trying something new. I'm hoping to learn Japanese next year. Looks good. I want to try so many things. Oh, so this is okay.
The ramen that we talked about like 15 minutes ago.
So now it's ready. Well, ish. We now need to let it like get a little soft. But let me also show you this. So this is like little flakes.
Don't you already have one open?
Yeah.
Come on now. We're not about to waste food. Well,
they're actually individual packages.
I'd rather not open another package if we don't have to. That's at least for right now.
I don't know where it is. Well, I did say leave it here.
I think we're supposed to put it over here. Victoria.
Yeah.
I think she put it over here.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I liked it because, so it's a one big package, but inside, there's, like, individual servings. So
they're individually wrapped. Okay, thank you, Japan, for more.
So, they had 3 different flavors.
Ooh.
So, this is wasabi. They had bonito, or bonita. I think it was bonito. And another flavor. It's, like, little flakes. Technically, you put this in rice. They eat it on rice. But I like everything on my ramen, so
I don't know how comfortable I feel about this.
Put just a tiny little bit because wasabi is spicy. I don't know if you like it.
Okay, I can handle spice, but at one point,
if you don't like, if it's just a little bit, if you don't like it, I'm gonna eat the rest because I like it. But I'm gonna tell you the full story now because
I'm gonna eat it.
So what happened was I walked in the store. I was like, I wanted to try a bunch of different things. I know I wanted to get a bunch of things. And as I'm walking in the store, everything looks normal. I look around when I go to look at the food. From the back of my eye like this, I'm like hearing, "Thank you, Daddy." And I'm like,
"Oh yeah, Daddy."
I was like, I am not listening to this right now because I thought it was just like it didn't specifically sound like a girl or a guy, so I thought it was just like in my head. It's just like friends like trying to prank each other to make people like them feel embarrassed between them.
I do that a lot.
Exactly, but the problem is like this person would not stop. Like every 5 minutes I would hear that and I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, oh my god. And I could hear, and the store was full. And everybody every time because then I saw and it was a girl. So then after I saw her, like every time she would say it, people would like get silent and like look at each other. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like I'm in a multiverse right now because I cannot believe that I'm actually like living this right now. Every 5 minutes she would go, "Thank you, Daddy. Thank you." And I was like, "What is happening?" So then
it's called the praise kink. Praise kink. We don't shame around here.
I know, but the thing is,
we don't do
I've
that.
never heard that personally, like have that personal experience. Like I've never heard people say that.
The dick game be too good.
Because then when I went to check out, she was with like an older guy, and I was like, oh, he understands now. And it's so funny.
It's called parental issues.
Yeah, but also like I was like, and funny enough, how it was me a couple of months ago saying how I wanted a sugar daddy, and I was like,
don't we all? Well, sugar mom, but like, pay my bills, not have me worry anything, not having to go to work. Well, what you want? Clean house? Shit, clean house and food on the table. I actually saw a video.
No, they want sugar.
I'm not gonna be a whore like that. We had a very interesting conversation. You know what? I had the orange one, so I'm gonna go with the bubble gum one.
And I love this thing. I love opening this. But it literally felt like alternate verse, like a literally like alternate reality. Because I was like, I feel like I would still do a sugar daddy, but like, would I do that in public? I don't know if I could. Like, I would have to really like fall in love.
If he has a praise kink and you're okay.
But that's the thing. Like for him to have that kind of praise kink, like I feel like it's more common.
Nope.
For women.
I don't. Nope. We don't shame. I can only assume.
It's different. No, like being thankful like that, it's not really the praise. It's like you did good. Like you did this. Like you're so pretty, and then it's like praising differently. Like thanking and saying daddy. Like I don't think it's the same thing.
I mean, maybe she was gonna call him daddy later in the day. We don't know that.
But then we started talking about real stuff. So I'm like.
Yeah, so like roughly like 20 minutes later, we're finally getting into the ramen and the meat and potatoes. Mind you, we still have like all this shit to do.
I know. I want to try everything besides this, because this is like ramen, but like it's like 2 packs, and it's kind of how you buy like ramen normally. But there's only like the little package, and you cook it,
and then you have to make the rest of the meat. Stupid. I mean, if you had it,
and it's so funny because I was actually gonna buy pork cutlets for us to eat this with, and I forgot because I like to eat my.
Weren't
ramen.
You just a fucking whatever?
I forgot. Like I was at the supermarket and I forgot because I like to eat it with pork cutlets. I used to make I know how to make the egg, like the egg with like the soy sauce egg, and like I know how to make the pork cutlets. Like I usually do like the whole last meal.
So this whole year. A lot of shows, a lot of movies.
Oh.
No.
Yes. Now I
Jesus Christ. This bag was a little bit heavy. Some takoyaki balls.
If you never tried actual takoyaki balls at like a restaurant, really fucking good. I love it. You didn't like it?
No, I don't know if I can put this inside my soup.
I feel like it's kind of sweet.
Well, because mine's supposed to be like a chicken flavor. I mean, like it's different. But
different, but I like it.
Back to like the shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
So this whole year, all these shows, all these everything, and now like all these movies that should have come out got canceled, whatever, tax write off. And I'm sad to see Tom Hiddleston go. I really am.
No,
I think he's a great actor, but Loki is gone.
I didn't know that until you said that, because I thought, like, I understand, like, I didn't think that he was gonna like find a magical way to like leave
a proper send off, not a magical. It's not rainbows and kittens and butterflies.
No, I liked how it ended, but in my head, because I didn't know it was the end, it's not like I thought they were gonna find a magical way of like fix the timeline and like have everything work together and he was gonna be able to leave. But I thought something was gonna happen where they were gonna need him, or at least like because now we have a multiverse. Like I thought he was gonna be in another multiverse.
So there's actually like there's a version of like of all the variants. There's one variant of Loki known as the God of Stories.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he became at the end of the day, is the God of Stories. Like he's there to make sure that everything is like it has life.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, he could like pop himself, like a version of himself, into whatever battle is going on and help out the good guys or whatever.
But also, like, they already confirmed that he's not going to be there anymore. So that's also like the possibility that's like it's done. There's no possibility. Like maybe in the future they'll be nice and like they might use other like stuff like his not that he will never be in the screen itself. Like maybe they'll use like you know how when people like remember shit like
yeah, like a voiceover,
like a time lapse or something like that. So, but that's different just because his character evolved so much, and he is like so different from what he used to be that I was like very excited to see that like new Loki. Like I was really excited to see what he was gonna do. And the fact too that also I feel like I didn't realize at the time was that because like he did do something like he's a misfit. That was always problem from the beginning. He's a misfit. So like even if he did come back, we know him from watching. We know the story. We know he evolved, and we know that difference. But everybody else still sees Loki, and he is still Loki. So it's also tough for him to come back, and everybody loves him because they don't know that.
Yeah, so like that's also the like with this new, especially like the whole Jonathan Majors thing. I'm like, this thing is wild. Now they could do it right because like I don't know if you know. So do you know the thing that happened with Jonathan Majors though?
Who's that?
Kang the Conqueror, He Who Remains.
Yeah.
So they were building this next phase of Marvel to have him be the bad guy, like Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Like they was going to build up to the big battle, whatever, and Kang the Conqueror was going to be the final thing to battle. The problem is that he got into a fight with his ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And by I say he got into a fight, I mean like she was whooping his ass.
Because
he has like the scars and whatnot to prove it. And so Marvel dropped him, his talent agency, his lawyers, basically everyone dropped him. They wanted
because he got beat up?
No, because it's a domestic abuse thing.
But because he got beat up?
I don't think it's because specifically he got beat up, but there's some like footage of him like running around, like running away from her. Yeah, that's why.
But okay, so you're.
I'm not saying he. I'm not saying that like whatever. But like he was convicted of like minorly injuring her because like she has a damaged finger, but it's like this, you've ruined this man's whole fucking career just for you to get whatever it is out of your life.
Clout.
Well, she is a white woman, so I mean that's the reason why Dr. Umar says black queens forever, snow bunnies for never. And I'm like, that's funny because I'm a Brazilian dating another Brazilian. Only difference is during the summer I get brown.
I'm white year long.
There's just been like so many shows and whatnot that just like keep getting pushed out, and Marvel's been doing the like hit or miss, or hit miss, or it might be like a sleeper classic or even like a cult classic movie. It's actually like really good, not gonna lie.
But my problem with the misses is like
it's too many.
It's too many given their track record, which is what I mentioned before. Like they have a record, which is why like that's why I told you like when we talk, I'm like you're like an otaku and you're knowledgeable and you know those things, but I'm like mainstream media. Like I know the basic. I like movies, I like watching them, and because Marvel has like it's Marvel and it has that like history behind them of like all the good stuff, like because movies that have more than one movie have a tendency of flopping over time, especially different from 1 to 2, because 1 was a hit, was like that movie was good, like everything we had we put it into 1, but now they want to make 2, and that's the big problem is because they don't make the 2 with the same effort. But Marvel always had that like good stuff going on, like the Iron Man movies, the Captain America movies, like they have the history. So that's why a lot of people nowadays, they still watch the movies and they still think a lot of the movies are good, because uh it's all like flashy and it has the action and it has everything that people like.
But story wise, kind of weak. The
They're kind of
execution, kind of like
they're kind of
I
missing
can take a
it.
bad visual effects over like a good story. Like if the visual effects aren't that great, aren't that clean, I can definitely be like, but the story's really good. Like even like back in the day, trying to watch anime and whatnot, everything's like part 12, whatever, and it's like, but it looks really nice. I just want to know the story. I just want to understand what's the concept and like what's going on behind it.
Hmm. Yeah, but that's why I feel like they have this history of Marvel, and I don't feel like they're putting. Same thing how when you told me uh about you told me, right, the WandaVision thing, that they didn't watch, like they made the
Oh,
movie.
Sam Raimi with Multiverse of Madness, he because WandaVision was like wrapping up, or had like just wrapped, like it just finished whatever, and they were starting to do Multiverse Madness,
Hmm.
and it's like, oh, did you watch it? No. Do you want notes on like what we did to the character? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna do my own thing. Okay, Mister Miles Morales, you want to do your own thing? Okay, and then it just kind of goes somewhere else. A lot of people liked Wanda from Multiverse of Madness, but to me, it was like a smack in the face character wise.
For me, it was because I'm not gonna lie, like to make the series, I before the series came out, before even Loki, the first one, episode one, like before I even watched any of the seasons, I was first of all, I was like, I did not have high expectations, because I'm like, I feel like
Oh, for WandaVision,
for
same
none of
here.
them, for none of them, just because like I didn't know what to expect, because I'm like, what are you making with the series? Like you're making it a series, but like, what are you
You're
making?
giving us like a 6 hour movie,
Yeah,
roughly. So
yeah. So I'm
what's the
like,
point of the
what is
6
it
hour
gonna
movie?
be there? And in my opinion, Loki and WandaVision were like the top, and I loved it. But I loved WandaVision. I loved, I liked the details, and I liked how they like were doing the stories, and there were like so many hints of like so many things for the WandaVision, and the fact that they didn't continue that, because the point of the series, it's to have, if you think about it, like it's the
It's to
point.
give like some depth, some
So that, and
character,
then you make the
whatnot.
movies, because it's what come out of the movies. But the series, they're supposed to lock into the movie eventually, the future movie. So why are you changing her completely? Like she literally did a full 180. Like she went, because I remember when I saw the trailer for the Multiverse of Madness, they were hinting that they were going to be a bad guy, that someone was going to turn bad, and I actually thought it was Doctor Strange, because the trailer gave it out to be Doctor Strange.
A
Before
version
I
of him,
thought,
yeah.
it was like I understand that, like he also, like on the Multiverse of Madness, they say that like, oh, he's like the worst thing for the multiverse, whatever, is Doctor Strange. But for it to be Wanda, it kind of was very disappointing, because I liked WandaVision a lot, and they gave into a lot of like her past, into Vision, into her babies, and
They give her character development where like a lot of people that didn't know the character don't know, because that's the thing with Marvel and the MCU is that they're taking a lot of liberties and they're grabbing a lot of different stories and they're merging them together, and whatever like is like child friendly, they'll keep it, but whatever doesn't fit, they'll throw it away, which is something that like I enjoy.
Mhm.
But at one point, it's like you're taking from too many different runs. You're taking from literally too many different universes.
Yeah.
So now, like, what's left at the end of the day? And um, like, not wanting to say like too much on like Marvel and whatnot, because there's yeah, I'm gonna go back just a little bit. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp, to me, it was a good movie away from the MCU. Like it doesn't really hold a candle to the like the rest of the MCU, even though like it's the
Mhm.
beginning or the end of whatever like phase it was. It doesn't feel the same as everything else. Like Spider-Man, what was it? Not No Way Home. Was it No Way Home? Yeah, No Way Home. Um, Black Panther. Like those are like great like blockbuster things. Even Black Panther 2 was amazing. But then Ant-Man and the Wasp, like I'm here. I'm Paul Rudd. Like you like me because I still look like I'm 20 when I'm almost 60. I'm like, okay, kind of corny. It works, but like the movie could have been over in like 15 minutes if Janet had said like, she was like, wait, hold on, let's not go into the quantum realm because there's a really bad guy there. What is this? Well, like he had, and that like if she had explained that, we would have been done with the movie in like 10 minutes.
All right, Sage Squad. Those not a part of the Sage Squad, but you still seeing this message. It's important. All right. I know you get tired playing the game, especially on Unite. I always say get high off of potions. All right. Special item right there. Give you a little bit more life. Give you a little bit more energy, right? Damn, close combat into this W right here, all right? That's what I'm talking about. Get the W with W. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Use my code. It's going to pop up somewhere. Not sure where. But you're going to use that code, get 10% off your next order. The caffeine, all right? And it's not just that alone. It also comes with great vitamins on the inside. So if you do want to use this as pre-workout, because we know you like going to the gym, don't you sit here and lie, okay? Me as a Lucario main, I know we like to fight. So that means we got to stay ready. You know, we got to pump that iron. You know what I'm saying? Purchase WD. Code SAGE EJ.
And what pisses me off more is just like, I feel like she's that type of character, which is that mom that always, like, if they do another movie, it's going to be another one of her secrets. Because she's that type of character. Like, she's the character that, like, if something happens, first of all, it was her fault because she has her, like, secrets and everything she wants to keep inside. Whore. And, okay.
She turned to her husband and said, I got lonely. I'm like, did you just say that you spread those legs around like crazy? And then Hank turned and he says, me too, but I only did it once. It didn't feel right because it wasn't you. I was like, at least he said, hey, I did it once, but like it's no you. So I waited, and I'm like, damn.
But I also feel
she
like
spread her legs.
No, I feel like that's also very like not realistic because the thing is, why did they choose it that way? Oh, because it wasn't her. Like
it wasn't me.
Yeah, because like that's just to brush into the ego. That's not like my thing. Mainly is because like Ant-Man, even in the Marvels, like his movie is what I like said before. They're just like milking it because the first movie I liked. You know, I like his friend. Love his friend. I always forget his name.
No.
You didn't like it?
No.
Let me try it. What does it taste like?
No. But yeah, you're talking about the friend that's like, oh, so this dude told the dude to tell someone else, and then they turn and then like it's funny because like that it works so goddamn well.
And it's also the point of the character.
Like he's yeah, it's
not that great.
It's
But like the thing is, the other movies is they're milking it because also he's your. I'm sorry, but like Paul Rudd, like in that movie, like he's the sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is they don't put as much effort into sidekick because they also have so many superheroes, so many main characters, so many people that they devote and focus on. That I don't like.
That's the thing with the multiverse of like Marvel and all the different universes they have. Because in one of the universes, Hank Pym, the first Ant-Man, was actually one of the founders of the Avengers. In one of the runs, it's Tony Stark, Ant-Man, and I think the Hulk are the three founders. Yeah.
Which is exactly like I feel like they also kind of this is also a director's thing too because everybody wants their own thing to be personal and like their own and their work that also they fail to consider that like I know this is your part and your vision of this but you're also together, you're Marvel, you're a unit, you need to be one thing,
you have to be unified a unified front.
Yeah, same thing how we're not gonna dive into this, but same thing with Tokyo Ghoul with the fourth season, how it was shitty and unrelated.
Move on.
But we're
not talking about that because I refuse to talk. So season 1 is canon, season 2 is not canon, season 3 is a reimagining of the entire story. I'm like, but he got captured though.
But like, it's not even the reimagining.
I need you to make it make sense.
Like, but the thing is, like when you watch it, like when I watched it, like it's not even just like his own writing is just because it's completely unrelated. Like he cuts off whoever does it, like cuts off so much that it literally just doesn't make sense. Like as you keep watching it, the least makes sense it makes. But going back to Marvel is my thing. Like they're just milking it and not putting, like they're not doing what they used to do before, which is like, in my opinion,
I'll wait like a year or two for like a good movie. If you want to pump out a show in between, go ahead. Or like do I think at one point they were like pumping out 2 movies a year.
I don't know.
Or like 1 movie every 8 months or something like that. And it's like, okay, cool. If you want to keep on pumping that and like, give your side characters a side quest, like, do a couple of movies, TV shows, but literally less is so much more. It's not even funny how much that less is more. But like speaking of milking, Shrek.
Oh yeah, you told me there was gonna be a new Shrek.
Apparently.
But that also a new one. Okay, that is also the whole remakes, reboots, all that. Like Mean Girls and Wonka ended up being like. Have you seen the trailer for any of them?
For Wonka, yeah.
Did you know it's a musical?
Wonka?
It's a musical.
With Timothy Chalamet.
So I saw the other day that people were pissed because they went to watch the movie and hated it because it's a musical.
But it technically is a musical though. Like when you really think about it.
Not how musicals are. Like from the beginning, they're not like that.
Like High School Musical, because like High School musical from the jump is like
cringy musical.
Ugh.
Because like for example, Willy Wonka from the beginning, like it's a musical-ish, but you like it. Like you watch it. Like I've liked it. I've watched it. But I personally don't like musicals. Not like depending on how they are. Like some musicals are very cringy in that way. And they didn't advertise them as musicals, which people were so pissed about. And that's why, and then the company said, well, people don't really like musicals. So like we don't get good reviews when we brand it as a musical. And everybody's like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, so people that actually likes musicals aren't gonna go watch it because they don't think it's a musical. People that hate music, like they hate musicals, they're gonna go watch it and then hate it because they don't like musicals.
I don't hate musicals, but I like me a good one because I've seen all of the High School Musicals, right? 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Chicago. Oh my god. And there's a couple of other ones that like it's. I think it's Burlesque. It's one that Christina Aguilera did.
I love Burlesque.
And then there's like a few. Rent. It's very vaguely in my mind.
I don't like newer musicals because people, like for example, when they did the reboot of High School Musical.
Oh, High School Musical, the musical, this show. I'm like, leave. You were not needed, wanted, requested. For like all the returning cast, all right, cool. They get shit to do again.
Yeah.
And that's where our conversation took like a huge turn. Where it's like, Jeanette McCurdy even said she's like, oh, like I don't. When I got asked to go back for the reboot of iCarly, I was like, no, like none of us have done like great, memorable things in the meantime from the original end of iCarly to this reboot. Like no one's done anything super memorable. That's like, oh, we've done great things. Like at least
because Drake Bell has all his problems and no one wants to work with him. Like, do you know of all his problems?
He likes touching kids.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that seems to be a problem with people that what was it?
I like what Josh did with his career.
Oh, Josh Peck.
Yeah.
Kid lost weight, and then he's like, I'm gonna do every movie and show possible. And then goes to do every show and movie possible. It doesn't matter if it gets canceled in a year or two. That part doesn't matter. Because he new show with John Stamos. I'm like, what?
But I still like him because I like that he didn't. Because I feel like so many people too that worked like that was a child actor like that, like let their lives be like so different and like so many things that like we
there's also the Sprouse twins, Dylan and Cole Sprouse.
These are seaweed and salt chips. I like them. They're not actually very salty. Not at all.
No, but like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah. They're good, but they have no salt. But I like them like that.
Yes. So the two kids from Sweet Life, Zach and Cody, what they wanted to do was one more season with Disney. But what they would have done in that one more season would be to set up the show for it to always continue on. Right? So they would like go back to the hotel in Boston, because that's where Tipton is, apparently in Boston. And they would like almost mentor these like kids as they then like leave the show forever. So that way the crew has perpetual work and the show is always perpetually going. And what ended up happening, they said, haha, you're funny, like laughed them out of the room. They left and they didn't do anything for a while, and then one of them went and did Riverdale.
Yeah. Which Riverdale was so good first season. Like I liked it as a teenager like thing. But it became so like weird and mystical and supernatural that I haven't watched past like season 3 or 4.
If I wanted to watch Supernatural, I'd go watch Supernatural again. Which I find very interesting that they did like a reboot, not a reboot, but a prequel. And I'm like, that's such a bad idea because it hasn't even been 5 years since the show ended. The craving for it is not there yet. You're like, okay, we're done within a year. Hey, we're doing a prequel. Why? Doesn't matter if it get greenlit, like sit it on the shelf for a minute. Like I understand that's like a whole different thing I don't properly get, but when you really think about it, if they had waited a year or two, there could be such cries from the fandom for more. Like Suits just went on Netflix a little while ago. It jumped. It has like the highest view. Like it, I think it's like it's been seen for like 50 years or whatever already, with all the people watching it.
Yeah, I watched it.
And now it's the craving for more that they're now greenlighting spinoffs.
Which
the show ended about like what, a decade ago?
I hate reboots. Because I hate that kind of stuff.
The show ended right around the time that what's her face got married. Meghan Markle. Whatever her face is. The one that married into a black girl that married into the rich white family. No,
they didn't end. She left the series.
Yeah, but it ended a few years after she got married.
Yeah, but they did wrap it up. Like they did end it.
No,
nicely.
Mike, the dude that plays Mike, he came back, for like the final season, and then they ended it, and it ends with Harvey and Donna being married, Lewis being married, Harvey leaving New York to go work with Mike and like kind of have a change of pace. Lewis is managing partner with some chick that came in a few seasons prior, and then they're like, we're gonna put into a clause right now that once you change the name, there is no name change for 5 years. I was like, if you had done that when Lewis put his name on the wall, holy shit, different show.
Yeah,
different show. Because Lewis did that, I think, in like season 2 or season 3, and then went all the way to 8, I think it was. But I stopped watching after Mike left. Mike, the guy that plays Mike and
so that's so
Meghan
funny
Markle.
because the one thing I didn't like after Mike left, and it happened before Mike left too, is Lewis's character development was so painful to watch.
Oh my god!
Because season 1. They straight from the start, Lewis was a badass. Like he was a good badass lawyer. And I feel like over the seasons, for him to like learn his lesson, they made him like do so many mistakes that was so hurtful to watch.
But yeah,
it
was like a regression in character that like I'm not a fan of, because I liked, again, season 1, season 2, I didn't mind Lewis, but after that it was like such a regression that I'm like, why? Like, I understand, like, he went from this badass to be like, oh, he's a little bit more sympathetic, empathetic, but like that was what made him Lewis Lit. Like, he's an asshole, but he's like very good at what he does, which is why he's an asshole.
But that's not that. But that's my thing. That is Lewis. Lewis is an ass, but he is good at it. But like right around that season where Mike left to the couple seasons after, like every time they had a case, Lewis was the one that was like messing up. And that was pissing me off because I'm like, no, like he is the badass lawyer. Like I understand that like people are gonna mess up in the series and that's how they're gonna learn things, but like you're making him mess up in literally every single case. Like he literally messes up like 4 cases in a row. And that pisses me off because I'm like, that is not him. Like if you're gonna regress the characters for him, then for him to learn something, like no, don't do that. Like he's a badass lawyer. He always was. Like, and that like because like some of his mess ups I understand because it's like he was feeling jealous in the moment and like he was feeling like jealous and he wanted like payback or whatever. But some of the mess ups are very like not
Pathetic.
Lewis like. Yeah, very pathetic. And I was like, it was pissing me off because I'm like, that's not him. Like that is not the Lewis that I've grown to know and like. And I'm like, stop doing that to him. And that's what I didn't like.
I did like the like ending where like he has a baby and he gets married. I'm like, oh, finally, like he was supposed to have this like seasons ago, but
well, they're already trying now. They were already trying. So it's 9 seasons. They were started trying season 7.
Yeah, but she left him because she didn't want kids, and he did. And then a couple years later, she's like, "No, I actually do want kids."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Okay, yeah. If you had just stuck with this, the show would have been over sooner." But neither here nor there.
No, but I like what they did because they didn't make it like for them. They didn't make it like, oh, we're married, let's have kids, and then no, they got back together, and then he said he wanted to marry her, but they didn't marry yet, and they wanted to start having kids. She actually. I think she got pregnant and lost the baby, or she thought she was pregnant.
Mm.
And then when they went to test it, she wasn't. Like it was a mistake or something. And then they looked into IVF.
You have scissors.
Like
I'm trying to rip this bag open. This bag giving me like more problems than need be. Oh, I might have gotten it. No.
But I don't like how I like how they do that because that is a development. Like they didn't magically get together and have a baby. And even after when they wanted to have the baby, when she got pregnant, they were talking about like religious things because she's like not Catholic, but her family's Catholic, but she doesn't really have like a religion. But Lewis is Jewish and he wanted the kid to be Jewish. And she was talking about how like, well, like you need to understand like, and that's why I don't want them to be anything, or if they want to grow up and pick, because like my family's Catholic and your family's Jewish. Like they talked about like a bunch of things, which I liked because that's the development. Like they didn't magically just get back together and have a baby. Like stuff happened in between until baby and marriage. But I feel like they regressed his character so much to give him that development that was disappointing. I like it. My favorite one is this one, and the takoyaki, and this one. I'm not gonna lie, it's good. Everything's good.
But.
Well, not the bean paste.
No, that was just, yeah. Like I remember last night we were talking about like, oh, people that have like redemption arcs in like real time in real life, like Robert Pattinson, Team Edward or Team Jacob. Nowadays, like, they're like Team Robert Pattinson though, because like he's doing great. Where are all the other leads from Twilight?
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner, to my knowledge, stopped acting, or he does like some things here or there. Yeah. I know it's not. Well, I know it's not Kristen Bell or Kirsten Dunst, but whatever her name is, Kirsten. She just stopped. She did some movies and then she just stopped. Yeah. I really like this.
Yeah. You can keep that one. I have another one.
Like.
I also felt really bad for her just because she was considered like not being a good actress also because of Twilight, because of like her acting in Twilight. But also what I've realized more nowadays is because when people like reminisce about those series that happened at the time, like movie stuff that I remember, like, have you ever seen Radio Rebel? How dare you?
Disney Channel movie?
Yeah. With
I know of it.
With what's her name? She does Jessie.
I didn't watch it.
How dare you?
I know of it, but I never watched it.
Okay, try this. I like that. Because like all the cringy things that she does in Twilight are very things that people say about her acting. But once you start remembering all those movies at the time that were like Disney and all that stuff, you realize that like everybody used to act that way because that's how people used to see like girls and guys and like high school thing, and like that was what was realistic at the time. That's why everybody loved it and it was such a good movie. But today we see it as being cringy.
a lot of like movies don't hold up in that regard, in that aspect, anyways. Like a lot of animated movies do.
Hmm.
Disney, we're looking back at you,
Hmm.
because like Mulan, the 1990s version, the animated version was delicious. It was beautiful. Every aspect of
I
it.
love Mulan.
I'm gonna make a man out of you. I would like for them to remaster that song because
They should go back to
the
doing
version that's
animated
on
movies.
the version that's on Spotify is ass. And when they did the new one, they don't have that song in there. That song is the peak of the movie, and it is like the most memorable part. And it's like, oh yeah, it's not in there. It's not a musical. I'm like, bro, it's supposed to be like
Hmm.
have the force of a raging fire, the strength of a great typhoon, like all this shit. I'm gonna make a man. I'm like, cool, but they don't do
Disney
it.
should go back to doing animated movies because the animated movies they were good. And ever since they started doing like I've never watched the live action Mulan. Is it good?
I didn't watch it.
I never felt like I wanted to watch it, but like I love Mulan. I love Mulan. That's why I'm trying to make my little sister watch. Like I made her watch Cusco.
The Emperor's New Groove.
The Emperor's New Groove, and she did not want to watch it. She's like a TikTok kid. Like she's like her attention span's like this big, and she did not want to watch. She refused.
And then she liked it.
She loved it. She watched all the movies and the series with the school. She loved everything.
Yeah, because it's good.
It's good stuff. And
did you actually know that they had no script for that?
Really?
A good majority of the Emperor's New Groove was improvised.
Well, same thing with
So I actually just saw the story the other day. So originally they had a different movie in place, but the director and basically the whole team got fired. So then they had to bring in new people to do the movie in less than a year. And because they already had contractual obligations with McDonald's for the toys, they used character designs and pumped out all like a whole new movie. Which is why like there's a lot of fourth wall cutting, which doesn't happen a lot, especially in Disney movies.
I love breaking. I love that though. I love
that. It's honestly, I think it's great. It's definitely a product of its time. Speaking of product of its time, Tropic Thunder. Goddamn.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You've never seen Tropic Thunder? I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Bust a nut.
No.
Oh my god, you're missing out. Tom Cruise has fat hands and dances like an idiot. Ben Stiller, I believe, was like the producer behind it, and he was like, "Well, I'm trying to make a movie of guys trying to make a movie, and Jack Black is going to be in it, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in it," and then Tom Cruise is like, "Can I do that? I want to do this character, and I want to have big hands, and I want to dance. I'll do it for free. I just like let me have it. It's free. Give me huge hands and let me dance."
I'm gonna have to watch that.
So and then what ended up doing is that like the dance was just done without any music at all, and later in the editing room it was put in.
Really?
Oh, that's hilarious. I was like, Tom Cruise said, "I will happily like just be a fool because this is one of those like fool funny things, and I don't know if I'll like not that Tom Cruise won't ever do that because Tom Cruise is Mission Impossible, but it's like a break from the serious to do a joke role, and that's honestly it's probably not like the highlight of his career, but it's definitely like a good moment where it's like, oh, I did this and I had fun doing it instead of almost risking myself and dying for every single goddamn Mission Impossible movie that you be doing every like couple of years." And I'm like, Tom Cruise, calm down. Wait, Tom Cruise, you look too goddamn good. How old are you? I'm 58. God damn, Tom Cruise. I know. I don't think Tom Cruise is actually 58. I'm afraid to be like, hey, shout out some random number right now, and it's like nowhere near.
I say
86. So he's almost 50. Oh, my bad. I read that wrong. 62. Thomas. You are old.
You're not that old.
Minus
Who's
19.
older than my dad?
62. He's 62. Well, 61, about to be 62, and I'm like, goddamn, like you look like you're still in your 20s. But it's like, nope, I'm
He
still
does.
here.
It's the conspiracy theories.
Whose blood are you drinking?
I know the lizards.